Hey everyone, we're Medic. We're from Canada, and we'll just kind of give you a demonstration here of what we have for you. So each box that we have, one is for each household, and that is to provide you with some hygiene supplies and drinking water that could last more or less a year, depending on how dirty the water is that we have to use to purify. All right, so I'll get ahead and start with the demonstration here. As everybody more or less can see me and hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, so with the hygiene kit, there's just bars of soap, there's toothbrushes, and toothpaste. So totally separate from the water, just easy to pack in there. So the water purification system, it's going to come like this. And so I just need to show you how to assemble it and how to keep it clean and how to know when it's done and it can no longer be used. So it's very simple. You have two buckets and two lids. One goes on the top and one goes on the bottom. So holes on the bottom, holes in the lid go together. And then they come with 4 filters. So these are ceramic filters, and this is what makes the water drinkable. They're very fragile, so just be careful with them when you're using them or moving them. They can break.
Hold them by the center and don't hold it by the knob. Okay. So looks like that. Just unscrew the top.
So to put it together, make sure the seal is in the inside. Through both holes.
Yeah.
Got it?
Sometimes it might not line up perfectly, so it's okay to adjust it, kind of make a little bit of adjustment. Sometimes you gotta play around with the lid, sometimes that should be a little bit better. There you go. So like that, okay? Yeah.
And screw it on. It's very simple system.
Sure it's tight enough that it doesn't leak, but it doesn't have to be super tight.
So there are 4 filters with each bucket for 4 holes. Depending on how much water you need, it is a slow filter. But if it's providing enough water, you can only use 3 filters if you wish to save one to make the whole system last longer. It'll filter water slower, but it will help kind of save your filters to make them last longer. So they come with, there's just a plug here, a very simple plug. So if you don't need all 4 filters, if it's quick enough, if you just have 3, you can put a plug instead of the filter. So that is totally up to you. If you need all 4 because you need the water that quickly, absolutely. If not, you can just keep one plug in and have a spare filter in case one breaks. So it's a good recommendation to just use 3 sometimes, just to save one just in case, and it will make everything kind of last longer. Okay?
Can we get the filters after these are done?
Pardon me?
Can we get the filters?
Right now we don't have extra filters, but these should last you a year. So they're each unit, it should last more or less a year for you.
Even if you connect the whole floor at one time?
Even if you use all 4. So if you're using very dirty, dark, muddy water, it's a good idea to pre-filter with a cloth just to try to get a lot of the big gunk out to help the filters last longer, that's all. So it's just how dirty the water is, it will really depend.
Is it so what you put it?
Sorry, one at a time.
Is it something that we can wash? And
Yeah, I will show you. Yep, I will show you.
That's the finished product.
if you don't,
So these are the plugs I was talking about. So if you did not want to have all 4 filters in and you could just use 3, you can take out the one filter and put a plug in instead. So the plug goes through the hole instead. And that just leaves you a spare filter, which can, if it lasts longer or in case you break one, you have a spare filter. So he'll show you how that works.
So same thing, the rubber goes in with the screw. And then the nuts again, just on the bottom. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so instead of 4, you can use 3 or 2. Okay. Is it in okay? Yeah, perfect. Can you show that?
So that's, a lot of people do this just because it gives you a spare filter. If you find that it's not keeping up with the water that you're using though for drinking, then you may have to use 4 if that's what you need. So up to a year is what it should last. So you will notice as it gets used, these filters will start to get dirty. They can turn green and just from all of the impurities. So to clean the filters, so you'll notice it getting very dirty and even some algae with green, whatever it may be. So this is like a sandpaper almost, and you just rub it clean.
Oh, okay.
So use a wet, so you just do it like underwater or with some water, and you just scrub it clean. And each time you clean it, it gets smaller, obviously, and so that's what wears out the filter. Is you have to clean it each time. So there's a device that comes with it.
And when you're cleaning, make sure you don't use any soap or detergent.
Don't need soap or anything. It's just to sand it off, just water. And then each kit comes with one of these, and this determines when your filters can no longer be used because they've been worn out. So if this, right now it can't fit, once it can easily fit around, that means the filter is worn out and it can't be used. Okay, so then it's not going to purify your water 100%, so you can't trust it anymore. So depending on how dirty it is, how often you have to clean it, that will determine how quickly it wears out. Everyone got any questions? So, just to go through, each kit has 4 filters, a few plugs in case you only want to use 2 filters or 3 filters to have spares, 2 buckets, 2 lids, a piece of cleaner here, no detergents, no soap, this just rubs the ceramic clean.
One question.
And a device to measure if your filters are still good. Once it passes through easily, you can move it entirely around.
Can you buy these to replace the one of ones?
I don't know if you can buy them in country here. It's more as an emergency relief to last hopefully up to a year until there's better sources of water.
So this is the part where the water comes out on the bottom.
So each bucket has a spigot. There's a hole in the bottom bucket for a spigot to make it easy to empty. So there's 2 pieces of rubber. Just make sure it seals.
There you go. So as you can tell, once the lid goes on, it's very tight, so water won't leak out if you have to carry it anywhere, right? So this is the bottom bucket with the extra hole for the spigot, okay? Can you hold it up like that? Yeah. Okay. So actually there's 2 washers, 2 of these. So one goes on each side, one goes with the ring, and the other goes with the spigots.
Roger not there.
So you can just put it on a table or a bench.
Yes,
right?
yes, I'll do that. Mine long already.
And just make sure you only use cold water. Don't boil the water first to go through it, okay?
Take it easy, you will get it.
Yeah, so that's the finished product.
Each box also comes with just an instruction manual, just to give you just a breakdown of how it works and everything like that, just in case. You don't want to put any chemicals in this, no chlorine. Yeah, it's more for bacteria and viruses, so it's not going to clean out. I wouldn't put anything that's tainted with gasoline or any known chemicals. Make sure you don't use those, okay?
So it comes with the instructions in terms of how to clean it and how to use the little measuring thing for the to see whether it's worn out or not. And it gives you a little bit of information in terms of what it filters. So technically you don't need any more like chlorine tablets or anything like that, right? But yeah.